But as we get past Uhura's voiceover, she's stepping off the elevator to, again, who I'm going to say I think is going to be the funniest person on this ship, Ortegas, who's standing there just wearing like khakis and belly shirt or something. And she's like, aha. So Uhura is going to go change her clothes. Ortegas is like, no, come on, just, get this off your bingo card. We're on a small ship. We got to amuse ourselves. And Uhura's like, this is not a small ship, which I thought was kind of a fun little section. They go over to Pike's door, ring the doorbell. He answers. He's standing there, I don't know, stirring a bowl of something, wearing Hazel's apron. And he goes, they got you with the old dress uniform thing. Very good. And he invites them in. First off, again, I have to point out, if this is indeed the captain's quarters, I have stayed in suites in hotels that were more than $500 a night that are smaller than this.
Yeah, actually, there's a scene later. There's a couple scenes in this that give you more of a sense of what his quarters look like. Yeah. And it's basically, to me, a decent-sized studio apartment with a conference room in it.
Yeah, well, you know what? I did get the sense that maybe the conference room or the ready room, whatever they're going to call it, is attached to his quarters. That would explain some of the size, but man, compared to you go back and you watch even like Next Generation, their quarters were large compared to TOS, but they were nothing compared to this.
Yeah, it seems weird, but I like how Pike is, and I meant to say this about Ortegas too. Ortegas looks like she's about to go to the gym and given Pike's, I don't think you see his whole outfit he's wearing, but at least the top, it looks like they're both about to go to the gym.
Yeah, he looks like he's wearing a zipper jumpsuit or something. So he settles in to go back to cooking ribs, and Uhura kind of works the room for a couple minutes, and now we get to meet the chief engineer, Hemmer, who we saw but did not deal with at all in the first episode.
Yeah, this scene is really the only time you see him in this episode, except for, maybe he shows up a little later, but this is basically the character trailer that we saw. This scene right here.
Yeah, so she comes over and offers to help him slicing vegetables. He takes offense to it. Spock points out that he took offense to it. Apparently Spock and Hemmer are a comedy duo. And, I thought this was a funny little scene because they really kind of rib her pretty good and, show Hemmer, even though his eyes don't work, but he's got other senses that allow him to, I guess, echolocate or something, because Spock throws a carrot up in the air and Hemmer snatches it.
Yeah, from behind the back. I was going to say he doesn't even look, but it wouldn't do him any good, I don't think.
And, I don't know, something about, Uhura points out that the Anar senses are so good they border on precognition, and he's like, I knew you were going to say that. She goes, could you sense it? And he's like, no, everybody says that. There's some cheap jokes in here, but they work, They actually kind of keep me they kept me smiling during this scene,
Yeah.
One of the things before we focus on too much of what's going on here, I noticed Pike is kind of the opposite of Picard. Even though I feel like early Pike, like the Cage Pike and Picard are very much alike. Pike now, he has the crew to his quarters, they hang out. You go back and you watch the Next Generation, Picard would not hang out with the crew. And there's even an episode I saw, I don't remember which one it is, where he's sitting in his office, his feet on his desk, the door chimes. Before he says come in, he pulls his feet down and straightens his jacket.
Yeah, Picard's definitely super formal.
Yeah.
But as far as Pike goes, I feel like some of his thing is that he had that issue from before the events of the Cage. He suffered through the events of the Cage.
Mm-hmm.
Then he had to sit out of the Klingon War. So he's just been through a lot with his crew. Not like Picard never did, but I don't know. It seemed to give Pike more of a friendlier attitude towards the crew because of all that stuff, instead of going the other way with it.
Well, and Anson Mount's portrayal of this character is very much a much warmer character.
Yeah, I don't know this show would come off if he strictly played like Jeffrey Hunter did.
Well, and you even pointed out that if Jeffrey Hunter's version of Star Trek got picked up, it probably would have been one season and done.
Yeah, he was fairly boring.
Yeah, even though that's one of my favorite episodes of the show. But yeah, he's very thin as a character goes,
Yeah, and for sure, had they filmed more episodes with him, they'd have fleshed him out, and he'd have fleshed the character out a little bit more. So it's really hard to say, just based off that one pilot episode, whether he'd have stayed all broody and, at arm's length with most of the crew.
Yeah. Well, but again, when we answered that question, we also said if nothing changed from this, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we cut to them sitting around the dinner table, Pike is telling a story about chasing a Nausicaan. Now, I don't know if everybody remembers this or not, but Nausicaans are the alien that stabbed Jean-Luc Picard through the back and giving him his artificial heart. So they're this big, ugly, hairy kind of alien. But so Pike is telling the story. He's chasing a Nausicaan who's not wearing pants, and he gets tangled up in the Nausicaan's pants and falls down. Everybody starts laughing, and Spock doesn't get it. To which Pike says, sometimes things just go so bad you have to laugh. I'm sure this will never come up again. We don't even need to focus on that, you know?
Nah, that was just a throwaway line that will never get brought up again.
Exactly. During dinner, Uhura gets asked a question about what song she is humming, and we reintroduce Uhura's musical talent, and we discover she speaks 37 languages.
Yeah, so she's kind of the Saru of this crew, I think.
Yeah.
You know, because Saru spoke a bunch of different languages. Well, he spoke way more than that, but, you know, he's also a lot older. But yeah, I'm glad to see that they kept that small detail of Uhura's character.
Oh, yeah. You know, and I think as little as they focused on her in the original series, they did point out that she had musical talents.
Yeah.
You know, in the movies, I think they also, they featured her linguistic skills a little more, and they definitely did with Zoe Saldana's version of Uhura.
I was kind of thinking, it's been so long since I've seen any of the episodes of TOS where she actually sings. I was kind of hoping to pick out a melody that seemed familiar that she was humming. Can you recall if she was humming anything at any point during this episode of the stuff she was singing later?
You know what? I didn't pick up any.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know that.
Yeah, because, you know, the first song she sings in the original series is about Charlie X in the episode Charlie X.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and, you know, she's flirting with Spock because he's playing the Vulcan guitar or whatever. Let's see here. Oh, okay, so Pike asks her where she sees herself in 10 years. Now, he hangs up on the 10 years a little bit, and I'm guessing it was probably indigestion from gas station nachos.
Hey, they didn't do a thing this time.
No, I don't think they did. I mean, they let us know he hadn't forgotten about it, but they didn't, keep showing it, you know?
Yeah, which I really like because in the last episode, that was something that we know it's happening. If you want to acknowledge it, sometimes that's fine, but we don't need to see old Nacho face every time he looks into something reflective.
Exactly.
So I'm glad that they did it like that.
Yeah. Look, if anybody's watching this, they know what's going to happen to Chris Pike, I'm pretty sure, you know? Let's see here. So, Uhura's not sure that she's really cut out to be Starfleet, so she doesn't know if she's going to stick around.
Spoiler alert, she does for a very long time.
Very long time, yeah. And we learned that she was actually headed to the university, was it the University of Nairobi?
Yep.
But her parents taught there, and her parents and her brother were all killed in a shuttle accident, and now she works as a vigilante at night, destroying shuttles. Oh, no, I'm sorry, no. So she decided to join Starfleet and going directly to the university because she thought she wouldn't be able to stop thinking about her family at the university.
That would have been a super funny detail, though.
Yes, it would have. She's just blowing up shuttles left and right. Where's all her shuttlecraft? Pike appreciates her answer and hopes she finds a place to fit in.